Hello, my fibromyalgia friends. It's so good to see you and be live. I am back. The semester for nursing school is over, so I get a holiday break. I just wanted to jump on a live stream and say hello to all my fibromyalgia friends. How are you doing? Just checking in with everybody. If you're tuning in live, let me know with an emoji. How are you doing? How are you prepping for the holidays? I have a special holiday survival guide that I wanted to just share with you. And if you have additional tips to share with the community, please chime in and share how you're surviving the holidays, what's up ahead, any tips that you've learned from the past. It's definitely going to be good to share. So I'm going to jump into that right away. And then at the end, I'll close it out with some additional questions and updates about the organization. I am Melissa Tolar. I am the executive director of the Fibromyalgia National Health Organization. It is official. We have changed our name. So we are going to be changing our branding, and a new website is coming soon as well. So I'll get more into that after this quick presentation. So I hope you enjoy. And again, please chime in. Let us know how you're doing out there. Let us know if you have any survival tips that we're going to utilize. Okay, so here's the holiday survival guide. Normally I'm dressed in my Christmas sweaters, my holiday sweaters. I apologize. It's been a tradition on our live streams, but I don't have any of that with me. As you notice, there is nothing behind me. We finally found a rental here in Arizona, and I don't have any of my gear. So I'll be headed back to California shortly to pick everything up. But here is a holiday survival guide just with some quick tips. I want people to just remember to take care of yourselves. There's a lot of self-care that needs to happen during the holidays. So any tips that you want to share with everybody out there, please post in the comments. Let's rally around each other. Let's be supportive as possible so we can help each other survive through all of this. Living with fibromyalgia is challenging, but we can get through it and find joy. I actually didn't put that in, but I should. Is the biggest takeaway from this is to just find some joy through the holidays. I know it's a lot of pain. We experience so much when we live with fibromyalgia, but there's still elements of joy that we can incorporate into our lives. So a big part of the survival is I'd encourage everyone to still keep to a schedule. If you have a current schedule that you go with eating, hydration, sleeping, these routines will help keep your body intact. Just keep on your schedule as much as possible. I know sometimes we want to change it up a little bit, especially if you are enjoying your time with company. Maybe there's some family coming in or friends and you want to adjust, stay up a little bit later. Just keep in mind that that may change your circadian rhythm a little bit, but always implement self-care when it comes to keeping up with your nutrition. Stay hydrated as much as possible in whichever way you do it. I know some people like to take refillable water bottles with them. If that doesn't work for you, because I know even going through nursing school, I didn't use that tactic because then I'd have to continuously wash it. So just taking water bottles with you is important. I'll even grab like a smaller water bottle because I don't necessarily always consume a lot. Especially if I need a restroom around, but those little ones are just enough to hydrate yourself. So whatever you can do to stay hydrated, especially now, I know the weather has shifted quite a bit for many of us, and we can feel the effects of that. So stay on the schedule, keep with your nutrition, take snacks with you, keep up all of that as you're on the go, and also just at home too, because things can change if you have kids that are back. They're not in school, so everything starts to shift, but that doesn't mean that your schedule always has to shift. Another tip to take away from this is rest. So plan for actually extra rest time. So if you are spending more time with family and friends, or just doing extra activities that might be later in the day than you normally would do, and you are feeling tired, set again in your schedule a day where you're going to rest. You're going to have enough time to relax, regenerate from what you did the day before. And so you might need extra time than you normally have to make sure you get enough rest, and be okay with setting those boundaries. I know it's tough because people might try to say, oh, it's the holidays, you don't have to do this or that. But for us and taking care of our bodies, it's important to plan ahead for that. And it's okay giving everybody permission out there. We all need to do these things and still find time and balance to have fun and enjoy the time ahead, but plan for extra rest time, because I think we all need some extra rest. Another tip to think about is making sure you have enough medication supply. If you do have prescription medications, a lot of the offices will be out for the holidays, and it'd be really challenging to get a prescription refilled. So right now, if you have refills that are about to expire, or you're running low on your medication supply or need any of that, talk to the doctor's office before they close out for the holidays. Make sure your prescriptions are in and you have enough to get you through the holidays for anything that might come up. We got to plan ahead sometimes for tough days like flaring and all of that. So do you have your supply ahead of time, so that you can reach your doctor in emergency situations? What's the process for that? So always just being prepared right now is a good time before everybody closes out for the holidays too, so that you have your supply and all the necessary needs you can. Now, when it comes to holiday shopping, I really encourage everyone to shop online, get gifts delivered directly to your door, or even get those gifts directly delivered to those other people that you might be shopping for. There's a lot of now new ways for online shopping. They'll actually wrap the gift or maybe put it in a box with a card, a gift card, all of those things. Please, please don't feel guilty about any of that. It's the easiest thing to do on our bodies, because I know I get a lot of anxiety going into a store when it's a lot of people, and it's a lot of things to deal with of overstimulation. So anything you can do to simplify this process and still be able to give gifts. If you love crafts and working with just in creative ways, handmade gifts go a long way. And I know people really appreciate the personal touch. So if that is something that you love to do, start early now, grab that, have all those supplies shipped to you, work on it, and see if you can get some help with the shipping or anything like that. But personal gifts go a long way. Handmade stuff goes a long way for people. People really enjoy that if you're able to do that. I'm not the most creative person when it comes to that kind of stuff, but I've seen people, we've had other guests on our show and within our conference that have shared with us how creative they are. It's incredible. And I would love to get a gift like that from them. So just keep that in mind too. People love that personal touch when it comes to gifts. And again, to tie in some of the shopping needs, curbside pickup. If you can't get it delivered, there's a lot of online shopping where you can put everything in your cart, you can pay for it, and then assign to curbside pickup. I've been doing that a lot lately here because, again, just going into stores, we were trying to get stuff during Thanksgiving and there was a lot of people out. So I found it super helpful to just do curbside pickup at Target and Home Depot. There was some traffic in the parking lot, but they have designated spots where you can go, you get their app, you tell them what parking spot you're in, and they bring you all your items directly to your car, which was super helpful. So I didn't even have to go into the store and get down, but they also have that available too. For quick pickups, you just go to a particular counter and get it picked up there. So utilize those tools if you don't want to get it delivered. It's really helpful. And it's actually really nice to have it online because you can shop for the items that you want. It'll tell you whether it's in stock. So that way you don't even have to go to a store and maybe you can't find what you need because it's not in stock. So I found it super helpful to do that online shopping for the items I really needed. Put them in the cart, check out, and then, Target alerted me when everything was ready for pickup. If there was anything out of stock, that told me too. And then I just went to that parking lot, put in the app what parking number I was in, what slot I was in, and someone came out and gave me all of my items. It was really easy, less stressful than normal, and I really got to conserve a lot of energy because you can't go into Target and not just get one thing. That's just our thing. That's notorious for Target. But then you go in and they don't have what you need. So you may have to ask for help. You're walking around a lot. You can't find things. So that can accumulate all that energy expenditure that you want to conserve right now as much as possible. But if you do love shopping, then maybe you do want to go in. But a lot of things with like heavy lifting, we needed some water and other groceries. So it was really easy just to put that in the cart, check out, and pick up. Another survival tip, because the weather is changing, and I don't know if all of you, how you do in the wintertime, but I am feeling so much more. I just don't feel great when the weather shifts to colder weather at all. I've moved to Arizona, so I probably have nothing to complain about when it comes to cold, but I'm feeling the temperature difference, especially in the morning. And out throughout the day, like yesterday, even though I had socks on, I didn't have my warmest socks. So I started to really have a lot of leg pain at night because my feet were really cold. So keeping your temperature balance is going to be a huge part of survival, especially as the weather shifts, it gets colder. If you are more prone to feeling a lot more pain when it's cold, be sure to bundle up, take extra items, double up those socks, make sure you have enough warm clothing to keep your body regulated when it comes to this temperature changes. I know it's tough sometimes when you adjust with temperature in the house. I'm actually learning a lot in nursing school. I took an aging class, and they really recommended for older adults, which I might actually apply just to fibromyalgia patients in any connection we have. It was on my test that 75 degrees is the comfort zone for preventing consequences, I guess, for thermal regulation. So sometimes we don't recognize that it's become really cold. So we might be more prone to things like hypothermia, hyperthermia. And I know it was related to 65 years and up, but I feel like I was 80 when I was 20. So I'm wondering how this applies to people living with chronic illness conditions. Definitely let me know if you struggle to regulate your body temperature. I certainly did, as far as my hands and my feet are always cold. So it was quite a dramatic change coming to Arizona during the summer. It was hot. It was hot in the morning, but I think I appreciate it more than I do now that it shifted to be a little bit colder. So I feel it, and I feel like the pain in my fingers and my legs start to spike because this temperature, and I'm really challenged with regulating my temperature when it gets cold. And I know even there was people that worked staff at the school. I came in with my big jacket, and they're like, oh, wow, because it's weird, you have a big jacket in Arizona, but I really struggle with that temperature regulation because it's always blasting air conditioning. So I'm not a big fan of feeling cold. And I definitely, as soon as the temperature drops below 70, I'm like, okay, jacket layered all the time, trying to keep myself warm. So I definitely struggle with it. So that's why I bring extra clothes. If you have to double layer, I use those undershirts, the long sleeve undershirts that, whatever I can, and I layer and layer to keep myself warm. I use beanies, hats, anything, mittens, gloves, just to keep my temperature regulated as much as possible. So keep that in mind as you're going out. Even if you're not spending a lot of time outside, that just those transition points can be really cold from walking to one place to another. And then this difference in temperatures, especially if they have the heat on, when you go inside, and extreme changes in temperatures can really affect our pain levels, which what I'm noticing. So please let me know if that's the case for you, if you notice those dramatic changes. Another thing I want to remind people of is everybody knows I'm pretty biased with nutrition. So please keep up if you are on a good path for nutrition. And I know it can be tempting with all the sweet treats out there. Keep on that road of being kind to yourself when it fills your body with nutrition. I know it's challenging when we're going over to someone's place to get what we need. I have a lot of food sensitivities. I don't do well when it comes to garlic and onions at all. So it's a challenge because a lot of people cook with garlic and onions, and I just do not react. It's even worse than having gluten for me. So that is a big issue with my stomach. So what I do, and what I've done in the past, is I just bring food with me, and I bring enough to share with others, almost potluck style. And I tell the host ahead of time, I'm going to bring food. Please don't stress about cooking for my needs, because it's a lot of stress sometimes when we have our things. Like I said, onions and garlic are out of the table, and that's what's in everything. So I just bring meals that I can eat. So I'm involved, you know, I'm not sitting there not eating anything. And then I bring enough to share. And this goes along for sweet treats as well. So I definitely have some things that are like gluten-free or other ideas. I used to bring those big bags, like Costco had the bags of siete cookies or anything like that. I'm a big fan of any of those, or simple meals. You can create a cookie tray of stuff that's like healthier options for you, and then you can share with other people. And you really do find out though that when you're on this journey, you're trying to keep up with your nutrition, other people are as well. And some people don't want to talk about it, others will, and the others will recognize, hey, I have stomach issues as well, so I'm trying to do the same. What do you think? And you might end up having more conversations about it. So keep to your nutrition, bring stuff that you can eat. It's okay. Again, if you bring extra and share with people, but at least you have your meal and you're eating and you're interacting and socializing with other people. And I think people will appreciate that too. Headphones. So this is something that I probably need to implement more. And I was really motivated by going to Washington, D.C. with Anne and Lily, because Lily would utilize this tactic quite a bit. So the noise canceling headphones in different situations, and I know we don't want to necessarily be rude about it, but sometimes might just have to put it on our heads so that we can calm some of those surrounding noises. It can get really noisy and overstimulating in all kinds of places. So I loved that she utilized that when she was, and she could recognize when she was getting where things were just very stimulating in situations. So utilizing this if you can, if you have a fibro family with some youth, this might be good to just calm that situation as much as possible. Just even if there's no music playing, that way it's just kind of controlled. Do some deep breathing exercises, because this season can be really stressful. And again, all those noises, lights, everything can be overstimulating. So you just want to take care of yourself and be able to find some calmness within it. So again, I just wanted to keep this really short. If you have tips for our fibromyalgia friends on how to survive, please post in the comments, please share. Whatever you prepare in your holiday toolkit, it's important. If anybody keeps stuff, I know that we always have to keep maybe some topical creams with us in our purse, or any backpacks and things that we take. What else are you utilizing? And preparing in advance is always important. So that way we can have an enjoyable holiday and just prepare ahead. So I just want to say thank you again so much. Happy holidays to all of you, my fibromyalgia friends. I'm glad that I can check in really quick with everybody. I appreciate it. It's been a long semester, but I look forward to the holiday break. I'm so happy my fibromyalgia body survived. Just to let everybody know, I have started an accelerated direct entry to master's in nursing program. It is accelerated, but at the end, with all things surviving, I would graduate with a master's degree in nursing and then be able to sit for the NCLEX exam to become an RN and then move further in order to support the fibromyalgia community. Because obviously I want to specialize in fibromyalgia, working with fibromyalgia patients, chronic pain, really helping change the system. And I'm already able to do so. I've been giving different presentations and educating some of my students, or not my students, but like the students in my class and just even my professors. So this is a great opportunity for me to share my lived experience with fibromyalgia, especially living with fibromyalgia now for 30 years. I got diagnosed after a sports injury as a kid. And so this really feels good to move forward. I'm glad I survived the physical part. I know the second semester, they're going to level up with the 12-hour shifts. They were nice this semester and it was 8-hour shifts, but I know I'm about to level up to 12-hour shifts. So the brain part I can do with the classroom, but the physical part is definitely going to be a test of how much physical work I can actually handle as a fibromyalgia patient. And I'm excited about where I'm going to be placed in my clinicals. I joked with one of the other classmates that I was like, can I be a patient at the same time as I'm a nurse? I can get my own room maybe, and then I can hang out and wake up for clinicals because I have to be there at a really early hour, which I still haven't adjusted to. I had to do clinicals. I had to be there at 6:15 a.m. I am not a morning person. I'm getting better at a little bit morning. I don't know if like 7 counts. It still counts as a morning, but that 2-hour adjustment to be awake at 5 a.m., that was rough. That was honestly rough. So I'm going to be challenged for 4 more semesters, but I know my why, and I want to be there for all of you in the fibromyalgia community. It's important to me. It's important that we go against the grain and start being a messenger for new ideas for treating fibromyalgia. So that's what I want to do. And that's where I'm headed. And that's why I'm challenging myself for this, because I definitely had second thoughts. I keep questioning. I ask Michael and be like, is this the right choice? So I'm going to continue with that. I have a break. So I'm going to be working on the new website we are now known as, with the IRS, the Fibromyalgia National Health Organization. It's official. So we're working on a new logo. We are working on a new website at a new URL. So it's officially, we're going to grow into it because I definitely want to tackle all there is about healthcare. I want to change the conversations. I have some concerns about some of the FDA approved medications. I think I'm going to create a survey and do some medication reconciliation, because I have a lot of concerns. I have a lot of questions. And I don't like the fact that we're just constantly putting out the same information without being accountable and asking questions. If this medication, there's one in particular that has raised attention quite a bit, and I'm concerned. I am really concerned, and I have to ask a lot of questions of our community. Is it more effective, or is it causing more harm? And I'm going to do some more presentations about what I've learned as a nurse when it comes to do no harm. And especially asking a lot of questions. And this was part of a presentation I also did with ethical treatment for chronic pain. And I'm learning more about nursing and how we handle chronic pain and what changes we can do as an advocate. So I am enjoying all that I'm learning being a nurse. I think I found a path forward. It fits my personality, because nurses are known to be the ones that are closest to the patients and being the best patient advocate, which makes sense. So there's a lot of changes moving forward. I know it's going to be a tough road second semester for sure. I'm excited about my placement, but I'm not excited about the hours and the drive. It's going to be over an hour drive just to get to clinicals by 6 a.m. Not looking forward to that, but I hope to just continue to jump over every hurdle that they give me. It's a lot. It's an accelerated program too, so they show no mercy. You got to do a lot of work, and it's fast-paced, learning as much as you can. But I did accelerate it because I know I want to get in and out, and I want to get into research, clinicals for fibromyalgia. I want to specialize in fibromyalgia and go as far as I can to even open up a clinic out here in Arizona. And I'm learning too that if I get my RN license, I'm able to apply to be licensed in other states that are part of that nurses compact license, so that it includes a variety of other states, so I can work through my RN license. I'll have a master's degree, so I can be more involved in research, which I'm excited about. And then cross fingers, I go after the NP or a DNP. I don't know, or maybe PhD. I don't know. My friend is encouraging PhD. Anybody out there who's an RN or has done this process, an NP, if you have your thoughts, please let me know, because I know the road there is going to be vicious physically and mentally. So I'm preparing myself, but it's important we break this. We need more people, and we need more healthcare professionals trained in how to manage fibromyalgia. Again, I'm concerned about some of this like FDA approved medication, because I just don't think that one of them in particular, which is the most prescribed out of some of them, is working really well. After I'm seeing side effects, people are writing me all the time, the dosages are way too high. I'm concerned about the withdrawal effects and the side effects. And I don't think, and we're not looking anywhere else. We have some other pharmaceuticals, but we're not talking enough about LDN, maybe some other avenues. We need more. advanced neuroinflammation research. We got to get that research, large cohort studies. We need the NIH's attention. We need a lot of attention on fibromyalgia. So creating that roadmap. I love what the ME/CFS community has done. They have a working group at the NIH with medical professionals and researchers. Let's do the same thing for fibromyalgia. We need to get these medical providers to also step up. So this is what I'm doing. If I got to train them, let's train them. So with a master's degree, I can do some education. So I'm going to go after that. If we start with nurses, if you know a nurse out there that wants to be more involved with fibromyalgia, please send them my way. Nurses, I could use your help. Let's get everybody educated. Let's do this all together. And it's important. And with the new nonprofit's name, we can really grow into that. And we want to focus a lot on knowledge, education for patients, education for medical professionals. So we're rebuilding that. And that's going to be a really symbol of creating knowledge, sharing knowledge, advanced knowledge with everybody, research and advocacy. I know with advocacy, we've kind of taken a pause because of all the stuff that's happening on the political scene. There's going to be a shift. So let's everybody get into office that needs to be in office, and we'll start building up our relationships with everybody that's new in the offices, representatives, senators. We're going to redo everything again because we have to rebuild those relationships, and we'll get that started again. I'm unclear whether it should be starting out to Washington, D.C., or we do virtual again. So I'm going to talk to people. I see some of you in the actual chat. So like Anne, Maudie, hello, Carrie, it's so good to see you. And Margaret, so good to see you. So I'm going to be actually emailing you guys too about DC versus virtual training to get things off the ground and started, maybe in person. Some of the dates I've been thinking about, because I'm new to Arizona as well. So I've never talked to the representatives in Arizona and my senators. So what I was thinking was maybe an in-person, like local, like we start locally really building up relationships with our local representatives to cut down on flying. Although I love going to DC, I'm going to miss that for the time being. But, you know, maybe it's in the cards. I don't know yet. I don't fully know my schedule for the rest of the year. So I can't say never, especially with me and surprises. Who knows? But we need to carry on with advocacy with the new representatives, new senators. We'll continue building up that relationship so that we can get further funding. We got to get the CDC to change their definition of fibromyalgia classification, because one of the hardest things we noticed this past year was that the data is for fibromyalgia for all the states is still linked to arthritis. So it is impossible to pull out all that information state-wise. All of the healthcare data for fibromyalgia is in the arthritis pool. And this is challenging because we need to take that out. So I think as an organization, we're going to just start doing our own surveys as much as possible to push that information, ask questions. My first thing I'm going to start with, we're going to do a live. We need to do a live with Crystal. If you're out there, I have not forgotten. We need to share that information on the survey we did with Veteran Voices for Fibromyalgia as well. But we want to do a medication reconciliation sort of survey to find out where everyone's at, their effectiveness. Let's get real data in there from all of you, so that way we can share that with our representatives as we move forward, share that with researchers, because we've got to stop this repetition for research. It's become too much. We're not getting anywhere. We need to put large cohort studies with neuroinflammation. We need to start looking at the brain, spinal cord, central nervous system, autonomic nervous system, much more. Follow what other organizations are doing, because they're doing a great job. ME/CFS, dysautonomia, EDS. We have a lot of great examples of some organizations that are almost like our sister organizations that we need to look at and follow a path. They've blazed a path forward for us. So let's follow, be supportive of what the work they're doing as well. And we're going to do it. So let me just say hello to everybody. Hi, Margaret. It's so good to see you. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. And hello. I hope you noticed that I pointed out the tip from Lily. I learned so much from her, and the headphones and stuff. I think it's an important tip that people can utilize. So keep sharing that. Carrie, I miss you. Carrie, you will laugh. We have ducks on our property, which is a big reason we chose this new rental. There are ducks right outside. They swim around the property. We have these like homemade lakes that they came out with, and there's ducks and geese. So I have found the duck. So we're going to continue with the duck theme. I'm surrounded by ducks. They wake us up in the morning. It's so hilarious. So Carrie, I just had to tell you to do that we found something. Hello, Marty. Lupus Spoons. Everybody go attend the Lupus Spoons, a holiday event. It's on our pages we've shared, and I'd have Maudie share a link too. So she has an in-person event. If you are in the Chicago area, I highly encourage you to attend. You can make this holiday event or attend on Zoom. I love the work that Lupus Spoons does, her and her family. When you attend an event, it's like getting a giant hug. So for all of you out there that needs extra support right now, I know the holidays can feel very lonely, feel very defeating. But when you're with Lupus Spoons and her family of friends, you will not feel alone. You will feel very well supported. They get it. They understand. And I know people ask me all the time, it says Lupus Spoons, but we're all invited. And once you get to meet Maudie and her family, you will know that, and you'll know that I've been telling you the truth. So for all of us with chronic illness conditions, fibromyalgia, she's a huge supporter. She went with us to Washington, D.C. Please utilize the support that's there right now. You are definitely not alone, and we're going to be representing that a lot in 2025. Bringing again back this international community to really represent that everybody and let you know we are telling you the truth. You are not alone. None of us are alone. There's many of us advocates fighting all around the world to make this a better place. And I think we need to unify still. We have a lot of unity that we need to do. We need to come together and just get everything organized so that everybody knows how to diagnose fibromyalgia. We have a plan for treatment moving forward. So it's all going to be important moving forward as we go through this. Thank you so much, Margaret. I really appreciate you and all the encouragement. Thank you to everybody that texted me and messaged me through this. It's definitely been a lot, but I'm encouraged. I surprised myself more than anything too. And I really learned a lot actually working with patients. My first clinical assignment was assisted living. I was in the memory care unit and hospice care. And it really, hit at my heart for what we have to do to take care of people and look out for our brains and brain health and just having that compassion. So although it was physically a lot of work, helping people get dressed, shower, feeding, toileting, all of that stuff, I really resonated with the group. Obviously assisted living. Many of us have a lot of mobility challenges and things like that. And so it was a good place for me to start and something that I did find a lot of joy in. I really miss actually being there and interacting with patient care. So I did enjoy patient care quite a bit and I learned a lot. Thank you, Danielle. Danielle, we need to catch up. I need to hear about your appointments and stuff like that. Thank you always for the support. I kept all the avocados. The avocado purse, it was in full motion too. And it even surprised people as I pull it out at the store. Everybody's like, is that an avocado? So that is what I use as my little purse in my backpack all the time. So thank you, Danielle, and for the pens. Oh man, I was taking so many notes. I've gone through so many pens. So I appreciate you for all that you did and keeping me supported through all of this. Thank you so much, Danielle. Maggie, thank you so much. I hope you have a happy holidays. Staying warm too. And then Anne, definitely stay warm. So thank you everybody for, Maudie put, so yes, she also has fibromyalgia, lupus. So we all have chronic conditions, and that's why we're just all welcoming everybody to it. Don't touch the duck. These ones are they're just swimming around, hanging out. I can't wait to be surrounded by the ducks. Like I said, every morning I'm hearing them quacking out there and I look outside. So it's actually a good thing to be around nature that way. I'm surprised I wasn't thinking that in Arizona I would find such a place, but it's been nice. And they have a walking path that you can go through the complex, and they have different lakes where the ducks swim and hang out. There's turtles. I love seeing the turtle family. At first I thought it was a statue because of the way they just pause, but there's actual turtles there. So that's been good too. So we get turtles. I see rabbits, little bunnies and their families. So there's a lot of wildlife out here, and it's really nice to be around. So I love animals. It's good. But thank you everybody for tuning in. So I know I'm going to take a short break to go to California with the lives, but once we come back, we're going to be doing a lot more content. So we're going to set up this place, have a full studio. Now that we have a place, there's no more jumping around. For the whole semester, I was jumping around from Airbnb and hotels. That was challenging to move back and forth and all this stuff, but we finally found a rental that is good for us. So we'll be here. We're going to build up a studio. So it'll be nice to have a place that's just one place that we can utilize as our studio. The first purchase we made was Wi-Fi. So we got the highest level Wi-Fi we could get for streaming purposes. So it's all good with that. So thank you so much. Everybody, I miss you. I will check in. Happy holidays to everybody watching out there. And again, thank you so much. I appreciate you all. I will talk to you later. Bye.